Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. You know, it's very, very rare that I ask to talk to anybody. You know, I literally come on the air every day ready to do my show by my damn self. But every now and then, you run across somebody that just moves you. They're just a star in their own right, in words that you can't describe. Especially when it's outside your industry. This woman that I had the pleasure of interviewing, I taped an interview with her in studio, face to face, a few days ago. And I personally requested it because I think she is a sensational actress. She truly, truly is. She stars on one of my favorite shows on Stars itself, Raising Kanan. Power Book Goes 3, Raising Kanan. She's fabulous. You understand what I'm saying? Rock is no joke. You know, and she just, yes, she's won a Tony. Yes, she's won awards. Yes, the believability of her character, how she portrays herself in that role, how she changes, how she speaks normally to going into character and to do what she does the way that she does it, depicting, you know, that time in the streets of New York City the way that she does. I would know because I grew up in the streets of New York in the 80s. I can't say enough about her. Her name is Patina Miller. You're going to be hearing a lot more about her in the future because she is simply sensational. And it is my honor and privilege to share this conversation that I had with her with the rest of y'all because she's worth it. Stephen A. with Patina Miller, face to face in studio. Check it out. My next guest is a Tony Award-winning actress of stage and screen. She stars on the long-running Stars hit crime drama series, Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, which has been renewed for a 5th season from what I'm told. Please welcome the marvelous Miss Patina Miller. How are you? How's everything?
I'm good. Everything is good.
This is a personal request. This is a personal request. I mean, you are here because I reached out to my team. I said, look, get her on this show. I want to talk to her. I mean, I'm usually not interviewing a bunch of actresses or whatever, but you are special. I want you to know that I find you to be one of the most marvelous actresses I have ever witnessed in my life. It is an honor to see you. How you doing?
I am so good. I'm even better now. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Raising Kanan's, it's flowing. It's really, really good. I'm one of those original power guys.
Okay.
I never believed that I would like this show as much as I did. But
well, we've done our job.
It's you. Why is it so successful in your eyes?
I mean, I think what I think it is, it takes the formula from the original Power. I think they're really interesting characters. They're three-dimensional characters. Mm-hmm. The stakes are very high. I mean, I think, you know, we all know Kanan's story. And so it's really interesting for the audiences to come and take a look at our show where you get to start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. You know, you realize the different influences in Kanan's life with how he turns out. Mm-hmm. And at the helm of that is this really amazing, dynamic, amazing, crazy woman.
Now, the scenery. What is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be Queens, New York? Like it's supposed to be South Side? Is this supposed to be
Southside Jamaica, right. Queens?
You know, you're talking to a boy from Hollis, Queens.
Yeah. Okay. Then. So what you think?
I like it a lot
then.
because I'm like, wait a minute here. This is exactly how it looks.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah, we have a great team. I mean, I think everybody's done I know that everybody's done the work. So the acting, for me personally, is incredible, but also our creative team. Everyone who works on our show really gives 120%, and we wanted to make the show as authentic and real as we possibly could. So, you know, we do shoot in Southside Jamaica. We've shot in like these big destinations, and we've used New York as our playground to tell the story. And I think people are attracted to the show because it is kind of like this time capsule. It's like going back in time, and it feels just so raw and authentic and really honest to the time.
We were talking a lot about anytime you see a show like this, you think about a kingpin. And a kingpin, it's a queen pin. It's queen pin. It's you. It's you. What drew you to this role?
You know, I think, so for me, I'm always trying to investigate the truth of a character, what made the character really stand out for me or what mystified me about the character is a woman of Raquel's nature, being in this man's world, being a mother, and being at the top of this criminal enterprise. What makes a person want to do the job that she's doing? How did the person get there? They don't get there just because they want to. They get there because it's a survival. And so, how has this woman come to this great, holding the power that she has? And I was interested in that. And being a queen pin for me, that's kind of boring, but I wanted to make her interesting. I wanted her to be very interesting. I didn't want her to just be menacing.
And how do you believe you've made Raquel interesting?
Oh, I've definitely, what
I'm
I
talking
wanted.
about how you've done it. What do you
I mean, it was just her swagger, the way that she holds herself. I think all of Raquel's choices of what she thinks about power, just how much of a lioness she is about her son and to the people in her family. I think Raquel is very much family oriented. She's, she loves her family. She's the matriarch of her family, so she's holding it down. I know so many women and who hold it down all the time, not because sometimes they want to, but because they have to, and it's a responsibility. And, she wants legacy, and this is her way of creating some legacy. It's what she's good at. She's good with numbers. If she could be in somebody's office, maybe she would be in office if she had that opportunity, but she wasn't afforded that opportunity. So she's someone who's making her way and getting what's hers.
Well, let me tell you something right now. I'm gonna, listen, I'm not telling anybody because I know they all saw it already, but let me tell you something right now. One of my favorite scenes, I know you might not like this, but I like when you killed that girl that betrayed you. I like the girl in a laundromat. You helped her out when her man was beating her up and all of this stuff, and she got big in bed, and you was like, course correct. I mean, you gotta make your, I loved it. It was a beautiful scene. It was marvelous. When your relationship with the Kanan character in the show, how do you feel about that, and how much do you believe that's drawn in viewers?
I think, I love, first off, I think Mekhi Curtis is a wonderful human being. He is a beautiful actor, and him and I have just had the opportunity to have so much fun on screen and off, getting to know one another, really getting to go into what this mother-son relationship is, because it's a deep relationship. And I think a lot of people can identify with that kind of relationship. It's not so simple. It's not a very simple relationship. And, it turns and it's always changing. And, in the beginning it was Kanan doing something because he wanted to protect his mother. Then in turn, his mother making a lot of crazy choices to protect her son. So they've both been trying to protect each other in a way, and then you find out there's lies and there's betrayals, and so it's how do you continue to, how do these things manifest, right? Like a lie, a secret, and all of these things, and how much later, what damage is done, even if you're doing it out of something that you think is necessary to protect him in the long run, but they're mother and son, and they're always fighting for the love that they have. Even though it looks like it's not, they're always fighting for each other.
I have found myself captivated by that storyline from this perspective, especially when it comes to young black men. There are very, very few things that can be done to alienate them from their mamas.
Right.
They love their mamas, right? Whereas with this story, even though it's clear that he loves you, he ain't gonna let nobody else mess with you.
Exactly.
But him himself, he gives you nothing but trouble. I mean, every time you turn around, he's mouthing off at you. He's hitting you back verbally, et cetera, et cetera. I want to know that as you continue to allow this role to evolve, what your thoughts are about that imagery. Because we usually think young black men and mamas and they're linked.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case in terms from an ambiance perspective with you two on the show.
I think at the end of the day, it really is, they do have a bond, right? And that bond will continue to be tested. And right now, within the trajectory of the show, you've watched from seasons 1 through 3, and you're now watching in 4. You're watching them navigate a new relationship. Now Kanan has to have someone to blame for all of these things, and so you always blame the one the closest to you, right, for all of these things. And so Raquel is strong enough to take it. She is, she has to be the mother and the father in this situation, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like that her son blames her for everything. All she wants is acceptance and love from him after all of these crazy things. And so that relationship will continue to change.
How much of a push was it for you to be that person as a mom on this show, Raising Kanan, and then to go to the scene when you're with your brother who's got the alcohol issue and was talking and contemplating suicide and all of this other
Yeah.
stuff, and he's in there, he's in the meetings, and he's talking about, you know, what you mean to him and what have you,
Yeah.
and how he didn't feel like you cared and all of this other stuff.
Yeah.
What was that moment like for you?
Well, I think for me, I always try to attack my work with humanity. I always like to attack my work with truth and honesty. And so there has to be a way in to all of these different situations. And for me personally, you know, I know what it's like to be the child of a young mother. So I know what that is. And being raised by my mom, you know, her growing and me growing myself, and then also having a sibling, my brother, rest in peace to my brother, who passed away recently, but my brother had issues. My brother had some demons. And so I know what that's like to want something for a family member, want something, want so much to like
Yeah.
change, or want so much for them to be better. And you know, so taking all of my experiences that I've had in my life, that, you know, I'm not a queen pin or anything, but I take all my experiences and I try to get to the truth and the honesty of what the character's trying to say. And so what Raquel is really trying to say to Lou in that moment, first off, it's, see me as your sister. I don't need this right now. My world has just come down. I've been played by everyone around me. I'm having a terrible moment. Ease off me. You know, the second is, when are you going to realize you need me for everything, right? Like, that's really it. She has to be honest with people. And I think it's the best thing that she possibly could do is to, people will say that she's not honest. And yes, she made a very bad decision with Kanan and his father, but with her brother, it's just, you know, you don't get to get out of this life because you want to get out of this life. We are in this, and we were supposed to be in this together, and you need me for everything. And if you want to run a business, run the business, but don't keep coming back to me. And so Raquel has had to be this way. In a way, she's parenting her brother, you know, Lou. And then to see how that affected him and to see how he turned to all these things, then she has to look inwards and say, like, you know, maybe that wasn't the right way to do it, or maybe Lou is right about some of the things that he said. And so they've really had some come to Jesus moments with each other. But that's what you do when you're family, right? You fight like that, but we love each other. At the end of the day, it's all rooted in love, but family should be able to have difficult conversations with each other. And at the end of the day, it's rooted in love. So that's how I feel.
Tell the audience about Patina Miller. What is it that we don't know that you would like people to know about you, other than the fact that you are, I'm going to repeat this, a sensational actress?
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you. I don't know, you know, I'm a little private. I don't really love people knowing too much about me
I got you.
like that.
That's why I asked a general question.
But you
no
know what I do?
specifics.
I love to put myself in my work. And so what I would want people to know about me, that I am a very sincere person. I am a very loving person. I give my heart and soul in everything that I do. You know, I'm a person who has passion and for the things that I want, and I put my heart and soul to everything that I do. And maybe that's what it is that, you know.
Let me ask you this. You starred in a Broadway revival of the musical Pippen.
I did,
For
yeah.
which you won the Tony Award for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Musical at the 67th Annual Tony Awards. The show also won Best Revival of a Musical. The great Mr. Ben Vereen himself originated the role. Did you have any apprehension about stepping into that role?
Yes, 100%. I mean,
Because?
it's legendary. Ben Vereen is an icon of the stage, and what he did with Pippen and who he is as a performer and what that show was, stepping into a role like that, I was unsure of how it was going to be taken, you know. First off, a woman playing the part, you know, how am I going to mess it up? So there was a lot of this, okay, people are going to come judging me. What is it going to be? And then I said, you know what? I'm going to just put my own flavor on it. I'm going to do my own thing. And I'm going to be Patina and bring what Patina brings to it. And luckily that was very successful. And I have something to remind me of that moment in my life.
And I'm wondering, what do you believe that did for you? Because obviously there was some apprehension, some hesitation, but you did it anyway, and you were highly successful at doing it. How does that elevate one's confidence, particularly somebody like yourself, when you embrace a challenge and you exceed beyond expectations?
You know, I think it's trusting your gut. I think it's okay to be nervous and it's okay to be scared. Like, I always love to do things that scare me. I don't want to do easy things.
Wow.
Nothing that's easy.
Okay.
You know, like it's more to me than getting a script, reading my lines. What excites me is really breaking down a script, you know, really getting deep into a character and figuring out who this person is, figuring out how I can make the audience at home, you know, make it so that they see something within themselves or someone that they know through a character. How can I make what my work is, how can I make it land for people who might be going through something, right? Like to see yourself in something. That's what I would want as a viewer. And for me, like I say, it's not just picking up a script, but it's how can I go to as far as I can go. And I had someone tell me early in my career, don't be afraid to jump off the cliff. And so that basically is just about not being afraid to get to the edge, see that like it's scary and like who knows you know what's going to happen if you fall, but it's just the freedom of getting out there and doing it.
But do you go through that once you accept the role? Or do you look at it and see if there's a possibility it can make you feel that way, both reading the script before you accept the role?
I think it's both. I think it's both. You have to see, there has to be some sort of a vision of like, oh my God, what could I do with this? And so for me, the leading player in Pippen was that way, picking up the script to read Raising Kanan and reading who Raquel was and reading the show. I was like, oh my God, you know, I got excited. So there's the excitement period first, and then there's the, oh shit. Okay, well, how do I make this as alive and as good as it possibly can? How can I make this something that people don't want to take their eyes off of? How can I make this as good as I possibly can? And that's scary.
What gives you the best shot at pulling that off? Stage, film, television?
It's my stage work. I will always credit my stage work with my ability to have a camera in front of my face and act and emote and, you know, go up and down in all these different emotions and act with people in front of a camera. Being on a stage is very different. You know, it's an intimate house. What you see on stage when you come to see a show, you and everyone else in there are the only ones who will ever know what that performance was. So there's something really sacred and real about theater, which is new every night. And so what makes that alive and what makes it work for me, my TV work, is I know what the feeling of being able to try new things, right? Because it's new every single night. Yeah, the words are the same. Sometimes the actors are not the same, which is a great thing too. But you're getting feedback from an audience and you're in the room with them. And so it makes your listening, it makes you really kind of hold yourself in a way. You're really listening. Something might happen, but it's how you keep going. So your instincts, it makes you sharp. It makes you listen. It makes you want to try things. So when you get on a set, you know, you've been there for 16 hours and you're playing with everyone and we have all these setups. You're trying something new all of the time and you can try and get to the truth. In my opinion, what I love about the work is that it's easier for me to get to the truth of what I'm trying to say with these characters. And does that make sense?
No, that's makes sense. I'm listening. I'm listening to every word you're saying.
Characters.
But I want to ask you, I mean, when you talk about memorizing or remembering your lines, is that a gift? Is it something that you develop along the way, or is it something that you have to be just entrenched in, engrossed in? You got to really, really want it and really feel it to embrace the true character of whatever's scripted for you.
No, I think it's repetition. I think anyone can learn how to examine a script and memorize lines. I think, yes, over my career, I have gotten really good at memorizing scripts very quickly because I like to memorize just enough so I know what I want to do. So when I get into the room, I can be malleable, is what they say. So that if the director wants something different, I'm not stuck to a performance. I know what the words are, but if someone wants to change something, I'm okay with that. So, but the memorization is just another technique and, training.
Where do you feel you are as an actress at this particular point in your career?
In what way?
In terms of what you imagined for yourself and how you believe you are in comparison to no names in particular, but to what the industry standard may label as elite.
Well, I don't know. I would never sit here and tell you that I'm elite, but
Okay.
I will tell you that I am right where I need to be. I have worked a long time. I'm not new to this. I've worked in very different mediums. I've done different kinds of characters. The actor's dream is to be able to do work that you feel proud of, work that you can really put yourself into and, not regret it and just have as much fun. So I'm having fun right now in this season of my life. These are the dreams that I dreamt of as a young performer of wanting to do. I never saw quite this part, but I love that my life has sort of blossomed into this thing that I am now able to do what I love to do on a bigger platform. And I think that I'm just getting started.
You on Madam Secretary, brought up Broadway. I'm thinking about these things that you have done throughout your career. Do you get concerned considering the success of Raising Kanan? A lot of times I've spoken to actors and actresses along the way and they get concerned about being typecast because something is so successful that's all anybody will see you as.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about that at all?
I think about it sometimes, but I've been very fortunate to play different kind of parts. Like I started in theater. My first show right out the bat was Sister Act. I played Whoopi's part.
Okay.
I played it in London and on the stage in New York City. Like I've done Broadway work where I've done different things. That was a comedy. Pippen called on a different set of skills. Then I did Into the Woods on Broadway as well. So, I did period piece on PBS. So I've done really different kinds of work, and I'm hoping that people will see the entirety of my work and not just one character. I'm very proud of Raquel. I think all of those different roles prepared me for this. But I don't worry about being typecast. But the thing about me, if someone does try to typecast me, then I just will switch it up and I'll change it up because, I never do what's on the page anyway. That's the thing that you do is you do the opposite. That's what makes it interesting.
Listen, I'm listening to you talk right now. You don't sound like Raquel on Raising Kanan.
Sure
You sound
don't.
totally different. Wait, how you get that accent
But
like that?
I can give you Raquel.
I know you can. I have no doubt about that. But how you change your accent like that?
Because I'm a professional.
Wow.
'Cause
Well,
it's
it's
what
a
I
whole bunch of
do.
professionals,
It's what I
Patina,
do.
that can't do that. They're not you. They can't do that.
I don't know about
Right.
them, but yeah.
What's your aspirations from here?
My aspirations from here, I think I just want to continue to do really grounded work. I want to work with really good writers. I want to work with really amazing directors who like taking chances and who want to work with really good actors. I am an actor that cares a lot about the process, about the entirety of the work, and I'm a dedicated actor. I think, I happen to be friends and very close with so many brilliant actors. And so I pride myself on just being a part of that crew.
Right.
And so, yeah, I want to continue to do what I'm doing. Another character that can do what Raquel has done. I had no idea it would. I mean, I hoped it would. We'll see.
Listen, I know a lot of people, I mean, when you're acting, I want to know how hard are you on fellow actors and actresses, meaning that you take it very, very seriously,
I take it
which
very
means you know
serious.
when somebody is not. You know if you're on a set
I
with
do.
somebody is not, whatever. What would you do in a situation where you're on a set with somebody, you're working with somebody, and they're not taking it as seriously as you would like them to take it? How would you respond to that?
Well, you know what? First off, it's not really my set. I think.
I know.
So what
what I'm asking.
for me, what I do is I continue to do what I do all the time, which is come prepared and stay stay prepared. Right. And so it really forces, fortunately, I gotta say, I don't really work with those people. Right. So, you know, I've been very, very lucky to work with some really talented actors, actors who show up every day. Like, you know, how lucky am I to work with London Brown, Mackay Curtis, you know, Malcolm, you know, we Malcolm Mays, like, we are a really amazing team. And then we got Wendell Pierce and Tony Danza. I don't know what that's like, right? Like, our cast is the cast that comes and they come prepared. So
I gotta tell you, you know, I'm no actor, but I appear in General Hospital. You know, I've been in a soap opera. You know what I'm saying? I've been in General Hospital. I'm gonna be on Law and Order May 8th.
So you an actor then?
I ain't no actor. There I go right there. There I go right there. I mean, I'm trying to look the part.
No,
I'm trying to play it off, Patina. I'm trying to play it off, right? I'll tell you a quick story. I actually had to have an operation on my knuckles last year, because even though I don't pride myself in being an actor, my show on ESPN, First Take, my sports show, I mean, when they say First Take, it really is. I pride myself on getting it right the first time.
First Take.
And this particular day, I had 7 different scenes, Patina, 7 different scenes. And scene 6, for some reason, I could not remember the lines to save my life. And I got so mad, I punched the bag. But I didn't know that the bag, it was in a gym. Ooh. And I didn't know that the bag was a prop, filled with bricks. Oh. And I broke my knuckles and had to get operated on at HSS Hospital for Special Surgery just last year because I broke my damn knuckles. Because I couldn't remember my line. Because all I was thinking about was they had to redo the scene 6 times. Yeah. And all I could think about is I'm holding up the entire set.
Because you cared.
Because I cared. Because that's how you would have took it. Because I cared.
Yeah, because you cared.
I'm going to take that. Before I let you get on out of here, let me ask you about this too. I mean, because I understand you're an avid runner.
Yes.
And you performed the national anthem at the start of the 2023 New York City Marathon before completing the race.
Yes,
Is that true?
Yeah, it's unfortunately true. I mean, listen, I love...
Unfortunately, you could run and you could sing. What's the problem?
Yeah, but I don't know if we do those together. Listen, I think it's so amazing that I was able to do that. And I really am so thankful to New York Roadrunners for asking me to be a part of it. And like, singing was the most amazing thing. But I don't know why I chose to like... Run too, you know.
After
that was
you sang?
Yeah.
Because it took some of the breath away?
Yeah, I probably should have waited like a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm going to be kind. I'm not going to ask you where you finished. I'm going to leave that alone.
Oh, I know I finished.
You finished though, but you finished. I was going to ask where, but I'm not going to do that. But you 4 hours?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all, no.
And that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Okay, so
I'm getting faster and faster. We'll see.
Athlete too. She's an athlete too. Okay. Before I let you get on out of here, as we sit here right now thinking about the industry, I'm often curious as to the changing times. Digital, see streaming, how it's affected business in Hollywood, et cetera, et cetera. People look at that and they talk about how the industry has changed. Not as much work as it used to be, but I'm looking at all of these outlets and I'm saying, wait a minute, it could be more, whatever. What's your opinion about all of those things in terms of the climate that we're living in right now and what folks need to do in your profession to stay afloat and if not ascend, considering the times that we're living in? I'm talking about just the way the industry has changed.
I mean, think about it, the industry changes all the time. You know what I mean? Like there was a writer strikes before and like there's always something. So like we're just in a season that things are changing and we're just trying to get used to and navigate this new world, like everybody's trying to get used to what it is now. And I think it's just staying the course, staying ready, partnering with people and writing and I always, because I come from the theater, it's being with your friends and creating and, stay creating. For me, that looks like, being with my writer friends and talking about different show ideas or singing and, gigging, we call it, writing. And so you just continue to stay ready for when the opportunity comes. I think, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. I think we don't really know what it's going to be, but we just have to figure out how to make it the best for everyone. So
I need a favor. Don't die
I mean,
on the show. We need you. You understand? I want this show to continue. This is season 5. I need 6, 7, 8. That's what I need. I was talking about the show. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I was talking about the show. I was talking about the show. I was talking about the show.
Lord, Poppy.
Absolutely. I was talking about the show. You can't go. You can't go anywhere. Because remember when we watched Kanan later on, Mama had passed away. We don't need that problem. You know what I'm saying? Get Rich, Die Trying the movie. You know, alluded to Mama passed, but no, we don't need that. We need you around. You're gonna be around. That's what we need, Patina. That's all I'm saying.
We'll see. You know, it's power after all. Who knows? Nobody's safe.
That is true. That is what makes the show. The wonderful, the incomparable Patina Miller right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Be sure to check out all 4 seasons of Power Book 3, Raising Canaan, available to stream on Stars. Thank you so much. It was an honor
Thank you so
and a
much for
privilege.
having me.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it.
She's special. Thanks again to Patina Miller. Just can't thank her enough.